Fear is the enemy.
Buy your CD music box.
Whatever it is that you're going for, man, go hard. And hold on, never give up. You gotta have that mentality, man. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind who you wanna be. I know who I am, I know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. And that's word to my mom, word to my pops, word to my little bro. They said make your mistakes, but don't make excuses on why you can't live and learn. On a couple occasions I damn near went broke. I'm chasing this music thing, and I ran out of hope. I threw in the towel, said fuck the hole in the street. I kept on writing and touring. I picked up a job cause I knew it was important. The money I made, I would stash it away just to fund my recordings. And I didn't wanna stop cause I didn't know how. I would lay in my room by myself late at night and I finally figured it out. I just wanna be the best version of me, make all the music that I wanna make. I don't care what nobody gon' say. You miss all of the shots you don't take. And the answer is no, if you don't ask. If it gets hard, this too shall pass. God is my witness and he got the plan. He got the plan. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind who you wanna be. I know who I am, I know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. Yeah. Remember, man, you only in competition with yourself. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Pleasure and pain. R.I.P. the greatest. 0824.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay out there. Let me make sure my radio's on. You guys can hear me okay out there. So I'm working. What's going on, y'all? It's your good buddy DH. I am here for another version of Circle Talk. Thank you all so much for being a part of this process, this journey. I'm really excited to sit down and talk with this young woman that is doing her thing. I remember when I first met her last year at the Dope Culture Neo Soulfest. I mean, that's a lot, but you know what I mean? It was one of the flyest events of the summer. And when I watched her perform, I enjoyed every step of it from start to finish. Her musical elevations were on point. The songs that she had written were definitely about that life. And I loved everything that she had to offer, and her look was right there too. So she's got it going on. And I'm really excited for what's coming. Moving forward with her. She's got her new debut song, Instincts, is out, and we're gonna get in and learn a little bit more about Ronay. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey. First, we want to give a shout out to the sponsors. Thank you so much, iShots.com. If you live in the Washington area, look for somebody to get your pictures done right, whether they're headshots or senior portraits or family portraits, whatever the case may be. All you got to do is hit up my guy, Marvin Patterson, iShots.com. He'll get you done right. Next, we're going to give a shout out to Icon ENT. Our good friend Junior Thomas is in charge of the Party Bust Extravaganza here in the Washington Hilltop Northwest area. If you need somebody to get you somewhere in style, all you got to do is hit up Icon ENT or Junior Thomas and ask him to take you somewhere. He will take you there at a reasonable price. Just let him know I sent you, and he'll get you done right. You're gonna have a wonderful time while you're riding with your friends and partying it up. So, Icon ENT, thank you so much. Next, we're gonna go to ChayaFashion.com. Chaya Fashion, Zakia. Thank you so much for always being a continued supporter of Circle Talk. If you guys don't know anything about Zakia, she is turning rags to riches and re-giving them back to people at really cheap prices. She's very intelligent. She's working really hard in the community, spreading the love, creating pop-ups for individuals that have any talent and are doing things just like her, trying to give back and create a name for themselves. She's always about that life. So hit up ChayaFashion.com to hear about more that she has going on in the community. And last but not least, let's give it up to Intentions Juice and Smoothies Bar for their continued amazing elevation in our community. If you haven't been to Intentions Juice and Smoothies Bar, y'all better hit it up. 52nd in South Tacoma Way. She's got some of the best drinks and the healthiest around. If you like smoothies, that's the place to go. So thank you so much to all of my supporters and sponsors. And now it's time to bring on the person of the day, Miss Ronay. Let's go.
Hey,
Okay.
hey.
Hey. What's going on? How you doing, my
I
lady?
I am doing well. Healthy, breathing.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to make it today. I appreciate you for being here. I'm really excited to jump in and learn a little bit about you. What's your day? What's your weekend looking like, though? Let's get into that. What's your weekend looking like?
You know what? So number one, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
My weekend is gonna be kind of chill. I'm meeting with you, obviously, and I have a
Yeah.
birthday party to go to this afternoon.
Okay.
Um, chilling. I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
braid my daughter's hair tomorrow. That's about it. I have no other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No Easter plans or anything like
no,
that. Keeping it low
no,
key.
keeping it low key. No Easter plans.
Well, it's all good. No worries. Well,
Mhm.
let's do this though. Last year, I still remember your performance, and we actually did an interview last year about uh, you know uh, where you started and all this, and a few questions about your next movements, which you were telling me you're moving on to the Emoji Fest, doing some performance, staying
Mhm.
busy. How has the year been since the Dope Culture Neo Soulfest for you? How's that been?
It's been pretty good. Like you said, I did the Emoji Fest, which was dope. It was so hot. It
Yeah,
was so hot. That's probably like the hottest space I've ever been in as far as performing.
yeah,
And with my performance, I do a lot of dancing and singing at the same time. So it was a challenge, but it was a good challenge. I learned
absolutely.
some stuff that day. I've been in the studio really heavy. That's kind of been what I've been focusing on the most.
Yeah.
I've been writing, and I got the chance to work with a dope rapper from Las Vegas by the name of Spoon the Don.
Oh, okay,
That I'm
nice.
featured on. He just released an album, and I'm on 4 of the songs on his album. So I really have
Nice.
just been in the studio.
Yeah,
So
yeah, nice.
I'm ready
Hustling.
for show season now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah,
I've heard of Spoon the Don, and so if he's on one of your songs, it's gonna be a hottie. I'm sure it's
yeah,
gonna be going
yeah,
down.
yeah.
So let's talk about where did music start for you? Because somebody always told me that it started somewhere in our lives. Like for me, I always say my mom, she was a singer, and so I follow her lead. Or my dad was a guitarist, and I loved to watch him play, and so I followed him. Or what was your musical influences? Where did it all start for you?
Well, neither one of my parents had anything to do with music. They neither one of them sing or play any instruments.
Yeah.
Um, but they did always have music playing in the house.
Yeah.
I would say that would be the start of my influence. They just every morning when we're getting up for school or on the weekends, they just had all the old school jams playing.
Mm.
And I mean, it always took over me. I always wanted to sing along and
Yeah.
try to mimic every artist from Mariah Carey to Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, anybody you can name. I just wanted to sound like them.
Yeah.
And then, really, probably the biggest influence would be like a Janet Jackson, where she was performing. Then, once I started to see
Yeah.
that, and she was dancing and singing at the same time. So, yeah, just having the music in the house, I would say more than anything was where it started for me.
Absolutely. You're talking about some pillars too in
Yeah.
the music biz, talking about Janet Jackson and
Yeah.
you know, obviously Mariah Carey, those are names that everybody should know.
Mhm.
Um, for me, like when I think about, like when I knew I had something. When I was in high school, I sang in obviously choir and
Mhm.
all that good stuff just to get a feel of where I was, just to keep that flame burning, basically.
Mhm.
Um, but for you, like when you think about, because I mean, you knew you had a voice at some point in your journey. When did you realize, you know what, I could really do something with this voice of mine?
Okay. Well, when I was in second or third grade, one of the two,
Yeah.
I was brave enough to sing a Mariah Carey "Always Be My Baby" at our
Okay.
talent show in front of the whole entire school, and um, I think that was the moment I was like, okay, I can perform in front of people, and I felt
Yeah.
like people were applauding for me, so I must sound at least all right. People,
Yeah. Absolutely.
nobody was booing. So at that point, I think I wanted to sing. So my sister and I would sing together. We would just do a lot of talent shows and stuff around, and then we added a couple friends in, and we thought we were Destiny's Child at one point.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
was,
that's cool though. You
we
know?
did. We thought we were. And so I would perform a lot.
Yeah.
Really, when it came to singing, I never got any technical training. And so when you talk about like choir, I never did any of that part. So I think I always felt like I was missing that piece.
Yeah.
So then I ended up kind of gearing more towards dancing. And so I became a dancer, hip hop dance, and I got into dance groups and we would do shows and perform and stuff. And so
Absolutely.
like the singing actually kind of started to taper off after a while.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, for a little while actually. Yeah. Singing, I actually just started back up singing only 3 years ago.
And that's interesting you said that because when I still remember when we had talked earlier, you had said something about not doing it for very long.
Hmm.
So why'd you? I mean, what made you get back into it if you knew that dancing was something that you truly loved
Hmm.
and you was having a good time doing it? Like, what catapulted you into, what, I could make this more than just dance or more than just singing. I could actually put the two together and create, an avenue of my own. What was it that made you say, what, it's time to put it all together?
Yeah, I knew that there was still that passion. I mean, I didn't stop singing as far as like every day. I
Yeah.
mean, it's something that I did on a daily basis. I think really what ignited the passion again was I wanted to write. I knew I wanted to write. I knew I had a lot of things to say and a lot of
Yeah.
experiences that I wanted to share. And so I was like, I
Yeah.
want to start writing. And in my mind, initially, I was like, okay, I want to write for other artists or do
Yeah.
backgrounds and kind of like minimizing
Yeah.
what I really wanted to do. But I just knew I wanted to do something. And so I started to write and got with the producer and was like, okay, let's see what this can turn into. Let's start to make some
Hmm.
songs. Well,
Yeah.
then it was like literally the flame lit and
Hmm.
it all came back and it all was like, no, this is actually my purpose. I'm supposed to be singing and writing and actually performing these songs
Yeah.
because I love to dance. So why not put all of those together and be able to share them? Because I feel like it would be wrong if I didn't. So I
Absolutely.
kind of it ignited itself with writing, really.
Yeah, for sure. So when you think about you as an artist, if someone was to ask you what type of artist is Ronay, who can we compare her to? You know, who can we compare you to when it comes to artists that are up and coming or already have established themselves? Who would you say you have, little pieces of in what you are as an artist?
Um, wow. I like I said earlier, I do take a lot of Janet Jackson
Yeah.
into everything
Do
that
they say? Do you ever hear people tell you look like her a little bit too?
I have no, nobody's ever told me that. But
Okay.
maybe with the curly hair, you could say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I would say, I mean, current artists, somebody like a Danny Lay, I think, because I
Yeah.
like artists that perform.
Yeah.
I'm not really the kind of artist that will, and I mean, there's artists who will blow you out of the water and sing their behinds off on stage
Yeah.
and can stand there and make that a show.
Yeah. For
For
sure.
me, I just don't see that for me. I need to be moving. I need to be doing stuff while I'm singing. So maybe, yeah, maybe Danny Lay,
Hmm.
because she does a lot of dancing. Um, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Beyonce does that too, but I mean, she's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
Give her
Yes.
flowers. Okay.
I
I'm really
mean,
inspired by Chris Brown too. He's a showman. Um,
absolutely.
so those are
Yeah.
the people that I look to whenever I want to do a show. I'm studying them.
Okay. So you're talking about some obviously big name people,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
In your short career of actually performing and being out here, doing all these shows that you're doing now, and people requesting you to be a part of what's going on. What are some of the artists that you can say that you look up to? That's local artists that are doing their thing in our area right now.
There's a rapper that by the name of TNT that I had the opportunity to work with.
Hmm.
He's a rapper. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Murray based one, he's a rapper too. He's doing his thing as
Okay.
well, and he's doing a lot of tours and stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, April, what is her last name? She's a singer and she's out here just killing every single stage that she's on. Hmm.
I'm talking about April Shantae, right?
Yes, April Shantae. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes,
Shout
April
out to
Shantae.
her. Today's her
She's
birthday too,
awesome.
by the way. So happy
Is
birthday
it?
to you.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
have to message her. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. She is
Yeah.
she's so sweet. She's awesome.
Absolutely.
Every time
Absolutely.
I'm
For
around
sure.
her, she is just a joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's been limited. I haven't had the chance to work with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
What's his name? Caleb Nash. I got the chance to work with him.
Yep. Shout out to Caleb.
Um, yeah, very, very minimal. But anybody I have come across has been awesome.
Yeah,
So
for sure. For sure. Right on. So if you could collab with
mhm.
anybody, who would you collab with?
Anybody?
Anyone. Live, sleeping, forever.
Uh,
Anyone.
Hands down, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. Okay.
He's my
Why Chris
favorite.
Brown? Why
Yeah,
Chris Brown? Why is that?
he's just my favorite. I've liked him since he came out in 2004, 2005. He's just has a package. He's the whole package. He's
Yeah.
he's a complete artist to me, and I love to see somebody who gives their entire self, every little part of them, even his art.
Yeah.
So I like the way his mind works and how he thinks. I mean, his music can go a little bit there, go a little far.
A little bit.
But I mean, I just love his voice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love what he does with any track he's on. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Chris Breezy, he
yeah,
he does it all. I mean, it's like you said, he's multifaceted. He's
yeah,
a very intelligent musician.
hmm
And like you said, he can get real grimy,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he can be really subtle and sweet at the same time. And
Hmm
so absolutely, that's a great choice. Great choice.
hmm
So when it comes to your song Instincts, tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about the storyline behind your new song out.
Okay. Instincts. It. I wouldn't say it's super personal. I would say it's slightly personal and kind of taken from other experiences that other people have had that have shared with me. Just in that space of like somebody knows that they're really feeling this person, that
Hmm.
this person should be who they're with forever. And
Yeah.
they're questioning or doubting because maybe they're not ready to be in a real relationship like that. They still kind of want to play some games. They still kind of want to do their thing.
Yeah.
But if they do that, they're going to miss out on this amazing human being that they
Right.
could have. And so it's kind of like an in your face, like you don't really want to lose this person. Like I'm dope. Like I'm
Yeah.
dope. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're going to really
Yeah.
miss out on that. And so kind of just being like, trust your instincts. You know, you're feeling me. You know, you're falling for me. Trust that. And you're not going to
Yeah.
fail. And
Yeah. For sure.
I'm proof of that. So kind of just like a confident song, like that's just like putting it out there. Like you don't want to play, you don't want to mess around. I'm it.
Absolutely, for sure. So what I'm gonna do real quick, just for everybody that's watching or coming on, I'm just gonna play a little bit of the song for you
Okay.
guys, if that's okay. And then if you guys want to go and get it, we're gonna drop the information. Make sure you guys go and cop that album, cop all the songs that she has on her profile. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, come on now, it's there, it's hot. So hey,
That's
go and
right.
check it out. I'm gonna give you guys a little sample of the song, and then we're gonna get back to the interview though. So let's play a little bit of Instincts for the people.
Guaranteed to gon' stay on it. She's the one. Just you miss me when I'm gone.
Hey.
I think curiosity's got the best of you. You're weighing the options of meeting someone new. I tried to warn you, don't bother, you'll be right back. Cause they all out there for the streets, you'll discover I'm too good to be true. And you don't believe it, let your search conclude you found the babe. No locator.
I like it. It's hot though. It's hot though.
Thank you.
That's all you guys get though. You got to go and hear the rest of it, but it's
Yeah.
a banger. I was driving them to work. I was like, okay, I see you there. You even throw a little rap in there at the end though. I was like, okay.
That's actually something I am adding to my artistry. I've started to rap a little bit.
Yeah.
It's new for me, but I'm actually liking it because I kind of write that way. So
It's such an amazing thing, when you really try to challenge yourself because you got something. I mean, you've heard it probably from, family, friends that may have heard you, sing a little bit here and there. But like when you want to elevate yourself and you decide, okay, well, I'm going to throw something different to change the game up a little bit, surprise some people. And then you come up with this little rap and you're like, okay, yeah, I just did that. I did that. And, hey, after you finished rapping it, and then you went back and played it, what was the first thing you said when you heard it? Because
I was like, okay.
I mean, man, I swear, like, I'm an artist myself, but I remember like the first rap that I ever did, it was like ABC 1, 2, 3. But once you got into the studio and you mixed it and mastered it, had somebody kind of tweak it a little bit so it elevated to the next level. I was like, man, okay, that wasn't too bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I really enjoy the song. Like, it's a banger. Like, I feel like summertime. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have that in the mix. I'm a huge supporter of local music, local artists. Like, obviously, Rocky Sandoval is a really good friend of mine. Me and Rocky's been friends for a very, very long time, and I've supported him. He supported me, and just try to stay with him. Like you said, Caleb Mash is an amazing person. Dejanar Watson. I'm big fans of the Watsons, but I really like to support the people that really need it most. I mean, we can talk about all these people like Mariah and Beyonce and Chris Brown and all of them. They've all made it. I think for us in this area, I think there's such a huge gold mine here that has not even been scene. Do
Yeah.
you what? Why do you think it is that Washington is the most unlooked state when it comes to talent and people that are doing it really big in the world? Why do you think that is?
Oh man, I don't know why. I'm definitely experiencing that, but I don't know why. I think people sometimes people kind of want to be for themselves and they want to try to
Hmm.
make it for themselves,
Yeah,
and people don't usually share a lot of their connections and they kind of are
yeah,
private with it because they're nervous that the next person can make it, I think.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I don't know why. It's just a small market. And I think we don't have a lot of executives here. Um,
Mm.
I really don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you hit the nail. I mean, in my personal opinion, and I'm an old cat, so I mean, I've been in the game for a little bit, and I've kind of watched some things unfold. But there is a lot of that, me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make it before anyone else, but make sure you come and support me. Once I make it, then I'll think about coming and supporting you. It's
Yeah.
definitely been a lot of that in this area, and it's really sad because all you need is to put together a product of versatility and
Mhm.
ship it to one of these record labels, and they all will come running if it's
Mhm.
legit. You know what I'm saying? If you put legit stuff together, I I, I know it is a well-known fact, but there's just so many people that are self-centered, and I get it. You want your music to be heard as
Yeah.
soon as possible before it's too late, because you only have a short window to make it in this thing called the music biz. But like, you have to be smart, you have to be intelligent, you got to try and find different angles, like you said, writing for yourself, not just yourself, but writing for others. That's
Mhm.
opening up other doors for you.
Mhm.
So when you think about the songs that you've written, if someone was to come up to you and just say, "Hey, I would like to buy your songs," are you willing to give those songs up?
Right.
For 20 grand, even though that's not a lot of money, are
Mhm.
you willing to do that? You know, I
Yeah.
I've
I
been.
feel like I personally would be, I would probably still want to make sure that I get writer's credit
Yeah,
on it, to make sure that the longevity is there.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I definitely would want to do that. And I'm a firm believer it's different because I understand that, you have a short period of time and the window is small,
yeah,
but I believe that whatever's meant for you is for you. And
yeah,
so
for sure.
nobody can take that from you, even if they tried.
Hmm.
Um, and so I'm not one to like want to be selfish with whatever I have. If I have something, I want to be able to give it to you because you can't take what's already mine. It's just not possible.
Right, right.
And so I don't move that way, but I understand that some people do out of fear of losing what they think is theirs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let me do. I'm gonna take a step to the left real quick and uh, ask you about your personal life. How important is family to you?
Oh my goodness, family's everything. That's really what I'm doing every day, all day is
Mhm.
with my family.
Yeah,
And I try to make time for music. It's for me, the order has always been it's God, family, and then music. And
absolutely.
so, I'm always with my family. I have two daughters, I have a husband, and
Hmm.
that's my focus
Yeah,
until I have the space to open up for music. So,
that's amazing.
my time isn't only spent on music. I don't have that. I don't have that luxury to just be music 24/7. So,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
mhm.
That's awesome. And you said God. So how important is your faith to you then?
It's number
Since
one.
that's number one on your list. Uh,
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm a uh big believer in, always giving him his credit.
Absolutely.
Everything we do in life is, it's all because of him.
Hmm.
Whether it's positive or negative, either the negative are learning opportunities, the positives are rewards a lot of times for you, taking the initiative and learning the proper way to do things. And so I'm always thankful every morning I wake up, every
Right.
opportunity I get to do what I'm doing,
Hmm.
and share the stage with someone like yourself that's doing great work. Reaching the masses with your musicality
Hmm.
and your performancing, the way you perform. um, it's always awesome to see,
Thank
and
you.
like I'm excited to see where you go. And like I said, I've always already tapped in. You on my list now. Like you there. I mean, I liked what you did at the Dope Culture Fest. And so I already knew. I was like, yo, once we had this little conversation, and then you sent me that song, and I
Mhm.
played that song. I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna follow you. You're gonna have a friend to the end now.
That's what's up. Let's make that happen for sure.
Absolutely, I'm about that life. Like I'm a man on word. If I say I'm a follow, I'm a follow for sure.
Thank
Um, so let's do this. What's next on the list? What do you have coming up? As far as performing, any albums we can look forward. How can we see you perform again?
So right now, I don't have anything booked at this exact moment.
Hmm.
I am working with some management teams right now, and so trying to kind of pin that down. And once I have management, they'll be able to help me with booking a little bit more.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, I just released Instincts on March 31st, so
Yeah,
I'm really heavy in promo right now, and just trying to get that out there, and hopefully,
absolutely.
I can get some shows going to help promote that as well.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have
for sure.
anything set yet, but that's why y'all got to follow me, you know?
Absolutely. Hey, GSL, shout out to my guys over at GSL. Hey, she's looking for some work, y'all. Dope Culture's coming up.
Mhm.
Hey, hit her up, y'all. She
Yeah,
ready. She
yeah.
ready. She's
And I
so
know
ready.
it's coming. It's coming. It's about to be show season. The
Oh
summer
yeah,
sun's
yeah.
about to come out and stuff. So I know it always rolls around. The person that I was working with heavily, my cousin E Dog, he just recently got severely ill, and he was the one that was booking a lot of my shows before. And so I'm
Hmm.
just kind of working on the next step. So I know it's coming. Y'all just follow me at
Yeah,
She Is Day
absolutely.
on Instagram. Hello. And then, you'll know when I'll be having them shows because they're coming.
Absolutely. I believe it. I believe it. And I'm sure I'm gonna see you on in bright lights again on top of the stage doing what you do. So
Absolutely.
let me ask you a couple questions. These are my curveball questions because I have to do it. That's what I'm about. So these are scenarios that I always try and ask people to kind of get them out of their comfort zone just for a few minutes.
Okay.
So let's say you're performing at one
Mhm.
of these events and you have a young woman come up to you. She's about 17 years old. We're just going to say 17. She comes
Mhm.
up to you and she says that I love music. I really want to perform the way you do, but I'm too scared because of the size of the way that I look. What do
Okay.
you tell her? What are you going to tell her?
I probably would tell her that there's a space for everybody.
Hmm.
Like, be your best self, and people are gonna love that. No matter what you look like, no matter what you sound like, there's a space for everybody. I think if you're breathing and you are here on this planet, you have somebody to reach and to be there for and to give back to in whatever way. So the way you look, somebody wants to look like you.
Hmm.
So at
That's
the end of the day, be yourself.
absolutely. I like that. I like that. The way you look, somebody wants to look like you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I haven't heard that one yet, but it's a good one. Um, what's one of the toughest obstacles you had to deal with in your short life when it comes to just being a person? Being a woman, being
Mhm.
a person of color. What's something that that doesn't leave your mind? One of the things that you went through that really was a tough moment in your life.
Um, Specifically,
I mean,
um,
you don't have to go into like detail, but just think about like one moment that just always seems to come to you when you think about one of the hardships of you coming up.
I would say if I were to be honest, which I rarely share stuff like this, but you know what? I like you. No. um,
Why? Thank
um,
you.
Actually, I was a kid that grew up in some domestic violence home for a lot of
Mhm.
my adolescence. And so I saw a lot of just violence. And so it kind of turned me into an unhappy person for a little while. And it
Mhm.
made it so I didn't smile as much as I knew I should have.
Yeah.
And so it kind of stifled me in my life because people would always ask me, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" Because I didn't smile all the time, and people think that I'm mean.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I would say that after a while, after I got that so much, and people were like, "You look, you're so mean, you're unapproachable," or whatever, it actually made me start to think about myself and trying to find happiness. Like I knew that as I became a grown up, that I would always try to look for positivity, always try to look for happy moments so that I can
Mhm.
smile,
Yeah.
and so that when people meet me and people see me, they can approach me without feeling like I'm going to be mean or that I'm not approachable. And that's actually something I'm still working on. So I
Yeah.
would say, yeah, just definitely coming from just kind of, I wouldn't say broken home, but just dealing with a lot of poverty and domestic violence as a kid kind of, shaped me as a grown up. But I think it made me who I am, and I wouldn't take it away.
Absolutely. So, is your family originally from here? Because it says I shows that you were born in Seattle. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Um.
Yep. Everyone's from here.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah, my
Well.
dad was born in California, but he came here, I want to say, as a teenager and met
Oh,
my
okay.
mom. So we've all been from Seattle. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. So, have you dealt with any type of racism uh, anywhere around in this area?
Um, I mean, you could say that. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I always dealt with it, especially because my skin is brown and it's not light. And so I would deal with racism from white people just because I was black, and then sometimes black people because my skin was darker than theirs.
Hmm.
So that was kind of a hurdle of mine that I had to figure out a way to love my skin as I got older, and not want it to be white and be okay with my hair. And like the questions that you get as a black woman, like, how do you do that to your hair? Oh my gosh, your hair's so pretty, even though it's a little side, remark.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I mean, anything going into a store and somebody's looking at you like you about to steal something, even though you make more money than these people in these stores, but they think you're going to steal something from them, just
Hmm.
because you're black. So yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say, I mean, that I had anything that was like severely traumatizing, other than just being black, like the things that we all kind of go through.
Yeah. 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 That's it's one of the toughest things that I've dealt with a lot with my kids
Mm,
is not being accepted, dealing with hate from both angles.
mhm,
Hate them because they're too light
mhm,
um, to be a white person, but they're too dark or too light to be a white person because you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
I'm getting a
yeah.
little confused, but
No,
my
yeah, too
kids are
light to
mixed.
be black and
Yeah,
too
too
dark
light.
to be white. Yeah, yeah, I understand
Exactly,
what you're saying.
exactly. And so
Yeah.
I've dealt with that a lot with my daughters. They've all said that they've been bullied or talked about because of the color of their skin. And for me, I've never dealt with it like that. I mean, usually it's obviously I'm darker complexion, so it's always yo, like, we don't like your type. We don't like
Mhm,
your color. You know what I'm saying? The color of my skin. But it's sad when both sides don't support you and trying to talk to them and make them feel like they're okay for who they are. It's
mhm.
been something of a conversation that we've had many times, and like I it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Because they didn't ask to be either one. They were brought into such because me and their moms, and so it's
Mhm.
just sad. It's a sad thing that our world is continuing to see hate from everyone. We're seeing these kids that are killed because of simple things like like a card game or
Right.
throwing dice or just stupid stuff like that. It's
Right.
pretty sad.
It
Um,
is. Agreed.
so let me ask you one last question. I know I'm throwing these angle questions just to kind of get you a little off
It's
off
okay.
center just for a minute. But have you ever, like when it comes to mental health,
Mhm.
like have you ever felt like, your mental health was um in a rough spot, and then how did you deal with it when you got to that place? Or if you haven't, then say, well, my mental health is good, I'm fine. But
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely have had some issues. I mean, probably when I was like 19, I had some issues with anxiety, and I knew what it was because my mom had experienced it, and she would share
yeah,
um, her experiences. And yeah, there was just a rough patch where I think I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life,
yeah,
and I was kind of lost and like trying to figure it out. And so I would always fear and like think the worst.
hmm,
And how I coped with it, people have asked me that actually a lot. I pray a lot, like, and I
hmm,
don't have any problem saying that out loud. Like, I
yeah,
pray a lot to be able to endure the things that we have to deal with in this life.
yeah,
And that was the huge change for me. I started to realize, even though I always had a strong belief system, I realized the power of prayer, and I also realized the power of our mind.
yeah,
And I realized that if I'm able to convince myself that all these things can go wrong, and my mind is that powerful to believe it, then I'm strong enough to convince myself the opposite. And my
absolutely,
mind should be strong enough to believe that positive things can happen and will happen if I am thinking that way. And
absolutely,
so that was something I'm like, your mind is really strong. Our mind is powerful. And so you have to be able to choose what you want it to be thinking. You have
yeah,
control over your own thoughts. So yeah, I've
yeah,
dealt with it, but I have, made a decision to not allow it to overcome me.
absolutely. Good point.
Hmm.
Good points. I love it. I love it. So when it comes to, um, let's see, I know that was my last question, but there was something else that I wanted to say. I think for the most part, I do appreciate this conversation. I really do think that you have a lot of potential, and don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. I've seen a lot of artists, worked with a lot of artists, and I really like what you have going, and I would say continue to hone in. I mean, you are finding that niche. Obviously, that last song, I can't help it. That last song was it's a banger to me. I
Yeah.
I I mean, if y'all didn't hear it yet, I'll play a little bit more for you, but you guys got to go and cop that instincts from
Thank you.
Renee. It's a banger for sure. And listen to all the songs that she has on her platform, because she's got some good stuff, and I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from her coming, in
Thank
the
you.
future. So, do you have any questions for me? I always ask this before I get finished with my interviews. Do you have any questions for me? I ask a lot of questions, and I could talk forever. But do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't have any questions for you, but I will say I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you for the
absolutely.
encouragement because I do need it. It gets, you said you're an artist. It gets rough, and
Oh
some
yeah,
days you want to be like I can't do it.
yeah,
But when people share that with me and they say keep going, I really do take that to heart.
yeah, yeah,
So
for
I plan
sure.
to. I'm gonna keep going until I can't go anymore. So.
Absolutely, and keep me in the loop too. If you have any shows going up,
Mhm.
coming up, I'll make sure that I will, put them through I'll circulate them through my feeds, and if you have any other music that you're working on, let me know. I definitely support. That's what I do. You see me, I support everybody,
Mhm.
that supports me, and so that's kind of how I live my life.
Mhm.
If you're on my side, then you got a friend for life, and I'm gonna support you until I can't no more. So absolutely keep me in the loop with anything you have going on.
I will.
We'll
Thank
definitely,
you.
yeah, for sure. We'll definitely do it again. So everybody out there, thank you so much for being here. This is Circle Talk. It's your boy DH. Thank you so much, Renee, again.
Thank you.
Um, for next week, anybody that is going to be here, we will be catching up with another artist from UK. Her name is Caitlin May. She's a young country artist, just released a new song. Dang it, I forgot the name of her new song. I'm a horrible host, but she's good. So, come and check her out. Caitlin May, she's a country artist from the UK. It's going to be next Saturday. We'll be live, 11 o'clock, right here. Make sure you guys tune in. We're going to play a little bit more Instincts before we get out of here. But thank you guys so much for viewing Circle Talk for today. We about to get out of here.
Thank you.
In style. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey.
Through thick and thin, the ups and downs, you always been around. Is it gonna end like this?